accelerating, we're always going to get the bowling ball rolling toward the back. So if you really wanted to turn sharply, would you want your foot on the gas pedal or the brake?
Brake.
Why? That's the biggest question in my life is why.
Because you put more weight on the front tire and it turns faster.
There would be more weight on the front tires. Front tires do the turning, exactly. Plus, the car will always turn sharper on a slower speed. You know, as faster you go, the less you can turn. You know, you have to take a sharp turn slower. So the idea is we would want to decelerate the car. Now, sometimes you can decelerate a car just by lifting off the gas. Does it slow down some when you let off the gas? So the bowling ball rolls forward. When you brake a little, but if you brake hard, the bowling ball comes suddenly toward the front. And when we accelerate, very seldom do we accelerate so hard that we might actually spin the wheel, okay? And in a front-wheel drive car, when you accelerate hard, like the old Saab turbos, you can add power to the front. When you're adding power to the front, it takes weight off the front, and the tires can spin quite easily because you've actually unloaded them, okay? So, you know, where the motor is and where the power gets delivered to the pavement is pretty important. But if you can't stop in time, how do you miss what's in the way? Steer.
Sorry?
You gotta go around it, okay? How much do you think you can steer? Okay, well, we'll think about that a little bit. Because if a tire is here, and we're looking at the top of the tire, and it's rolling that way, when we wanna steer, we're gonna force the tire, and I'm talking about force here. Generally, we don't turn very hard, but when we turn, we point the tire in a different direction from which the pavement is coming, okay? And when we turn there, we actually, let's see, that'd be on the left side of the tire, and so we're gonna push on the side of the tire, okay? Generally, the tire can do that, okay? But if you had a soft tire, or you put an excessive amount of force on it, two things will happen. It'll push across the pavement, slideways. Is that a new word?
Slideways? Yeah.
Slideways, okay, pushes across the tire slideways. But if we had not enough air pressure inside the tire, or too much force against the side of the tire, it would actually distort, okay? What's the strength of the tire? The air inside, yeah. So we're holding the air in. It's called a tensegrity structure, okay? The tension on the inside gives it the integrity. Is that good? That's a good word, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
I made that up. Yeah. No, it's not. I think, what's his name? Bucky Fuller. Minister Fuller. He came up with tensegrity structures. So the thing is, you know, if we push that tire across the pavement, we can have understeer or oversteer because there's more momentum than traction, okay? And if at some point we try to steer even more, maybe it just won't do it. Maybe it just won't do it, okay? So there is a point at which the car has to skid, and we always call that the limit. Okay, the limit at which the car can't do anymore. You know, you can go this fast with that car, and my Volkswagen microbus had 36 horsepower. It would go 65 miles an hour. 65
Downhill.
and a half. 65 and a half. It could do it because it had the aerodynamics of a lunchbox. Okay, so it, you know, I just couldn't push any more air out of the way. So we don't like this. Okay, this is hazardous. Most people have no idea how that's going to work. So what we've done is taken the same sensors on the wheels and put it into the same computer module that's doing ABS, and we've made stability control. Stability control, there are other sensors in the car too. There are sensors on your steering wheel that sense which way your wheels are pointed. And also, there are what they call yaw sensors in some cars. And to see that all these cars now, all the different manufacturers have different systems. Okay, they may all have a stability control system, but the one in a Mercedes may work quite differently than one in a Chevy Citation to do the same thing. Okay? Some systems are more effective than others. You know, it's hard to tell because you never get to test them. Okay? When you buy a car, does the salesperson take you out and say, let's see what it'll do? Probably not. Okay? I have done programs like that where we trained car salespeople. But the stability control system is when the tire starts to skid, and we got 4 tires. So one tire, let's say your front tires are pointed this way, okay? And if this tire is going at a different speed than this tire is going a different, see, they're all taking a different radius, okay? This one takes a bigger radius, this takes a smaller radius. When that disparity is too great, the stability control system says, this driver's having some problems. We gotta fix it. The engineer said that when he was manufacturing this. We gotta fix this, and you know what? This tire's not working very good, but that one was working pretty good. Maybe we'll put the brake on this one. And, whoa, son of a gun, this tire isn't doing much, but you know what? We could just use a little bit of brake on this one, a little bit less brake. And what it can do is differential braking around the car to cause the car to correct itself. Okay? Down here on the skid pad, we've unhooked that stuff because we want you to know how it would work in my dad's car. Okay? And I know that these systems do as best they can, but they can't necessarily prevent your crash. They'll help you, but they can't totally prevent. Okay? So, you know, I don't ever want you to crash. You know? And so the idea of understanding, you know what, this isn't going to be on your driver's test. You know, this is, remember I told you secret information, right? So the idea is that this stability control, in the early systems, they were just hooked up to the brakes. And I remember a relative of mine had a car that was equipped with that Chrysler product. And she was a good lady, but she thought the gas pedal made it go. And she was on a hill, and as she was on that hill, she just kept adding gas, and the brakes were working on the car, because it would only give you as much, would use the brakes to hold those tires back, just to do how much the traction was available. I guess I said that right, okay? Well, the thing was, she got to the top of the hill, she had been solid on the gas, the car was urging itself to go forward, and the brakes are holding it back. She gets to the top of the hill, and the brakes are smoking. And the engineers figured out, it's not a great idea. So what they did was they actually put into the stability control, throttle control. See, she was adding more gas than there was tires, traction. And now, in some cars, you can floor that car in the middle of a curve. And if the car starts to slip a little bit, it'll take your foot off the gas pedal. Now, I can't take your foot off the gas pedal, but what we can do is restrict that car from adding power, okay, electronically. So the cars now can not only protect you somewhat, but they can actually keep you maybe going a little slower. Maybe you ought to go a little slower. Car skid, okay, and it'll hold you back. And that's why those BMW club guys want to unplug it when they go out, because they say, I'm better than that.
There's always the story of the guy with the Ferrari who takes it all off, and then 5 seconds later he's wrapped around a telephone pole.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, it's Ferrari.